Hello and welcome to Training Tuesday, where we go through weekly tips and tricks to make your career just a little bit more awesome. Now, if you have ever had doubts about your career, this week's Training Tuesday is for you, because when people often have doubts about their career, most of the time they end up doing this thing where they get freaked out by these doubts, these things coming up saying, is this the work I want to do forever? Am I settling? Do I like this? And instead of confronting them, they just push them down and push them down and push them down. Now, the problem with that is pushing down doubts doesn't work. Straight up, I've been there, doesn't work. They're just gonna get louder and louder and louder until it becomes the whisper that turns into a scream, but you're gonna have to confront it eventually. Now, the thing is, while you just want that voice to go away, again, it doesn't work to ignore them. And so the best thing you can do is start to look at head on, why am I feeling this way? Where are my concerns coming from? What do I like? What do I not like? And asking yourself those hard questions, because even though those questions feel hard, staying in this limbo place is way harder. Because in this limbo place, you're not moving forward, right? You're kind of stuck. You're a little bit paralyzed. And so often I'll give the analogy to people of, if you're looking at a shadow and you shine a flashlight at it, it disappears. Same thing can be said here. By looking at your career head on and asking what's working, what isn't, that's how you actually start to silence those doubts. Now, part of the reason it can be so scary is because it feels like you're committed to making a change. And sometimes that, oh my gosh, if I even open the door to ask myself about these questions, it means I'm gonna have to change jobs, and then that means it's gonna set me back this amount of time, and it means da 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 da. This is that anticipatory worry spiral that we've talked about here before. And so if you're starting to go into that, I want you to do a small language shift, and that is my tip for you this week. If you're in the spiral of worry about thinking 10 steps ahead and what this is gonna mean for your career, we don't want you to commit to changing your job or any of the next steps down the road. All we want you to do is commit to that very first step, which is looking at it head on. And so again, small language shift can make a huge difference here, because it's not about finishing, it's about starting. And once you start, it all becomes so much more manageable. Now, I really recommend you get accountability for this. That's why coaching as a whole exists, and that's why obviously I created Empowered Achievers, because when I was going through my transition, I was hoping that there was someone who could kind of walk me through the steps. But know that if you start to just commit to figuring out the process and connect yourself to a group of people who are doing those same kind of things, it makes it a lot easier to do than being isolated or feeling like you have to do it all on your own. So make that language shift. If you need help figuring out what these concerns are about or what's actually going on behind the curtain, reach out to me, leave me a comment, send me a direct message and say help. I will get back to you directly and we can talk through it and make sure you get the support you need. But know that that's what I'm here for, okay? So make the language shift, reach out if you need support, and in the meantime, happy working.